The Animal Protection Party was founded in 2006 to attempt to push for greater animal rights within the UK. It stood 4 candidates in 2010 and was dissolved in 2016. It didn't seem to contest any of the seats in 2015. And I couldn't find any evidence for this, but it might have been because they was giving way to the Animal Welfare Party that is still going as of 2021. They claimed not to be anti-business, but had an anti-establishment agenda and were not happy with large corporations being able to lobby the government. They however didn't reveal any of their policies on how to fix this. They also stated that they would stand against MPs who were outspokenly anti-animal, and they ended up doing this 2 times. They were anti-hunting and wanted to ban fox hunting in the UK completely. They were anti-large animal farming and wanted to improve the life of animals set for slaughter and promote vegetarians. They were anti-fur and wanted to ban the importing of fur into the UK or place high VATs on it. Fur farming had already been made illegal in the UK in 2000, but people were still allowed to import it. They also talked a lot about vivisection and seal hunting. However, the UK had already made these illegal by the time, so this was probably just to whip up emotions. The first of their candidates was a recycling company administrator in Mourne Valley called Sarah Coates. They contested this seat in protest to Wixham Laboratories. This is because they were using dye sport on animals, which is used to treat cerebral palsy. They were testing this on animals as there was no alternative method to test it. This company also faced a lot of trouble from the Animal Liberation Front. Keith Mann, who we'll be getting to later, broke into the laboratories and stole some mice and was keeping them at his home. He argued what Wixham Laboratories were doing was illegal because they were testing on the mice for cosmetic purposes, which is banned in Britain. However, the court rejected his defence and found that the test complied with British regulations because dye sport was being tested to use only for therapeutic purposes. They ended up getting 0.5% of the vote, with 255 votes. The next candidate we'll be exploring is Carrie Holloman, who was listed as the party leader. However, it's been speculated that she did this on the orders of Keith Mann. She contested Huntingdon because of Huntington Life Sciences. This is because they were using animals for research. It was testing a large amount of substances on animals, some for non-medical products. It was claimed by SHAC, Stop Huntington Animal Cruelty, that 500 animals died every day. However, they supplied no evidence with this number, and it was at odds with Huntington Life Sciences numbers. The labs were infiltrated by undercover animal rights activists in 1997 in the UK and in 1998 in the US. In 1997, a film called It's a Dog's Life premiered on Channel 4. This showed serious breaches of animal protection laws, including a beagle puppy being held up by the scuff of the neck and repeatedly punched in the face, and animals being tormented. I will link this documentary in the description for those who feel they can watch it. Luckily, the technicians responsible were suspended and later dismissed. 2 of the men hitting and shaking the dogs were found guilty under the Protection of Animals Act 1911 of cruelty to terrifying dogs. This was also the first time that laboratory technicians had been prosecuted for animal cruelty in the UK. Some of the same cruelty to animals was also happening in the USA in New Jersey, in which the organisation called PETA also released videotape evidence of. This candidate, named Carrie Holloman, came last in the 2010 Huntington election. She ended up getting 181 votes, or 0.3% of the vote share. She was also embarrassingly defeated by the Munster reigning Looney Party, which is a popular joke party in the UK. The next candidate was Jim Caponakis, who stood in Vauxhall. He stood in Vauxhall to protest the Labour MP Kate Hoey. This is because she's the chair of the Countryside Alliance and promotes hunting. I'm not going to get into the hunting debate in this video, but I suggest you go and do your own research on both sides of the debate. Jim, or as he was listed on the election sheet, James, also came last in the election. He got 96 votes, or 0.2% of the vote share. He was also beaten by 2 other minor parties in the UK. These were the far-left Socialist Party of Great Britain, who got 0.3% of the vote share, and another far-left party called the Anti-Capitalists Party, who also got 0.3% of the vote share. Kate Hoey also ended up winning the election and becoming the MP for Vauxhall. She also won by a large margin. Their last and most interesting candidate is Keith Mann. Keith Mann is probably the man behind the creation of this party. He was also spokesman for the Animal Liberation Front in 2005, and he's also alleged to be the leader of the Animal Liberation Front by police, and he was arrested twice for this. It's still unknown whether this is true or not. He's an interesting figure, and is highly anti-establishment, and some say a snake oil salesman. He's written 2 notable books, such as I Cured Cancer at Home, which allegedly states how he cured cancer at home, and From Dusk Till Dawn, and no, it's not the vampire one. This book has a subtitle, An Insider's View of the Growth of the Animal Liberation Front, which I think summarises what the book's about. He's had many dealings with the police over the years for vandalism, theft, and even arson. In 2010 election he stood in Oxford West and Abington. He did so to protest against the Liberal Democrat MP, Evan Harris. This is because Evan was pro-free choice on abortions, though I don't know what this has to do with the party, and had spoken in favour of testing medicine on animals, which makes more sense. He also stood here because he was against the building of Oxford University's Biomedical Sciences building. He again came last in this election with 143 votes, or 0.3% of the share of the votes. This was the only region the party contested against that had no other minor parties or independents running alongside them. Evan Harris, however, still ended up losing the election to the Conservatives' Nicola Blackwood. Evan was the MP for Oxford West and Abington from 1997 to 2010. The Biomedical Science building of Oxford also ended up getting built. The UK is one of the top nations in the world for animal rights standards. As of 2021, it has a B on the Animal Protection Index. No nations currently have an A. It's one of only 6 nations in the world, along with the Netherlands, Denmark, Sweden, Switzerland and Austria, to have a B. It's had a B since 2020. It also had an A in 2019, 18, 17, 16 and 15. The Animal Protection Index is currently accepted to be the best index worldwide for measuring the cruelty of animals. The next best globally accepted index is the Voiceless Index. On the Voiceless Index, the UK scores an A along with many other countries. The top 20 on this index is as follows. According to this index, the UK is the 16th best nation in terms of animal protection. It's important to note that the Voiceless Index does not measure cruelty to animals, but the amount of animals farmed per capita. This is why the Animal Protection Index is considered to be a better resource. The Voiceless Index also has many flaws. For instance, it doesn't take into account that Japan ignores the international laws on whale hunting, or the quality of life of animals set for slaughter. I hope you enjoyed this video and thanks for watching.